I checked my watch again. 7:12 p.m. Ava was never late. I took a sip of water, my hand trembling slightly. The velvet box inside my coat pocket felt like a stone on my chest. "Excuse me, sir, would you like to order while you wait?" the waiter asked. "No, she'll be here soon," I muttered, forcing a smile. Every time the door swung open, I sat up straighter, hoping it was her. Then my phone buzzed. "Ava, you deserve someone simple." "I want more." I blinked, then read it again. And again me. "What does that mean? Where are you?" No reply. I called her, straight to voicemail. I stood up, dropped some cash on the table, and walked out. The cold air slapped my face, but it couldn't numb the burn inside my chest. I called her again and again. Voicemail, double quotes. "Hey, it's me," I said into the phone. "I'm at the place. I had something important." "I don't understand. Please just call me back." No beep. No time to leave a second message. I walked. No destination. Just the sound of cars, distant chatter, and my own breath breaking apart. I stopped at the bridge. Same place we kissed for the first time. I called her again. "Damn it, Ava. You can't just vanish like this. Talk to me." A voice behind me said maybe she already said enough. I turned. It was Lucas. "What the hell are you doing here?" I snapped. He smirked, hands in his coat pockets. Figured I'd save. "You some time. She's not coming, Ethan. She made her choice." I stepped forward. She chose you." "Yeah," he said casually. "You didn't really think she'd settle for your little ring and modest salary, did you?" I clenched my fists. I was going to propose. "Tonight?" Lucas laughed. "That's adorable. But Ava wants more than candlelit dinners and loyalty. She wants to live. She said she loved me. She said that to a lot of people." My chest cracked. "So you've been sneaking behind my back?" "Months. It wasn't hard. She got tired of waiting for you to build a future. I gave her one. You gave her a future built on lies," I hissed. He shrugged. "She doesn't care? She's flying to Paris with me tomorrow." I could barely stand. My legs felt hollow. "She's not even going to say goodbye." "She already did," he said, tapping his temple. "Check your phone." I stepped back, breath shaky. "You know what's worse than losing her?" I whispered, thinking she was better than this. Lucas smirked again. "Grow up, Ethan." I turned and walked away. That night, I sat on my apartment floor, a ring box open beside me. The room was dark. My phone buzzed again. "James, Ethan." He said, "She's gone," I murmured. "What do you mean? She left me for Lucas." Pause. "Wait, Lucas Hayes? Her boss?" "Yeah, that's the guy." "What the hell, man?" "I waited at the restaurant," she texted, "and he showed up to make it worse." "I'm coming over." "Oh, don't. I don't want anyone here." "Why?" "Shouldn't be alone. I already am." Next morning, I didn't get out of bed. My phone had dozens of missed calls. Lena, James, even my manager. I finally answered when Lena called again. "You better not be dead," she said. "Not yet." I heard what happened. "News travels fast. She left you for Lucas," she asked, shocked. I didn't answer. "She was your whole world." "I thought she was," I whispered. "I was going to spend forever with her. You didn't deserve this. I must have," I said. "Otherwise, why would she leave so easily? Don't do that. Don't blame yourself for her greed." "Thought I knew her?" Lena's voice softened. "Some people wear masks so well, you forget it's a costume." 3 days passed. I didn't eat much. Barely spoke. And James showed up anyway. "Get up," he said. "No." He ripped the blanket off me. "You're not dying over a woman who couldn't even dump you to your face. She was everything, James. She was a damn lie." I stared at him. I was going to build a life with her and build something better without her. He said, "Because she doesn't deserve your grief." I sat in silence. He put the ring box in my hand. "Keep this. Not as a memory of her, as a reminder. Never give your heart to someone who doesn't know what to do with it." That night, I stood in front of the mirror. My eyes looked hollow. My jaw clenched. I opened the ring box one last time, then shut it. I'll never let someone break me like that again. I whispered, and I meant it. I'm not going, I muttered. Pulling the blanket over my head, James banged on the door again. You haven't left your apartment in 2 weeks, Ethan. I'm fine. You quit your job, bro? That's not fine. I didn't respond. He opened the door anyway. Jesus, it smells like a graveyard in here, he said, waving his hand. When's the last time you showered? Don't remember. Right, that's it. Get up. Leave me alone. Nope. You don't get to rot because of her. I sat up slowly. You don't understand. I do. That's why I'm here. I stared at the floor. She left without looking back, like I never mattered. James sat beside me. She's a ghost. You're still breathing. Act like it. Later that day, Lena called again. Answer your damn phone, she snapped when I picked up. I did. I mean before today. Didn't want to talk. Tough. I'm talking. You need to snap out of it, Ethan. When James are on the same script, huh? Because we're right? I sighed. I don't know how to move on. You don't have to move on. Just move. Get out of the apartment. Breathe. The next morning, I forced myself to go for coffee. Just coffee. Cafe was nearly empty. I stood in line, head down, until I heard a familiar voice behind me. Ethan. I turned. Isabella. She smiled gently. Didn't expect to see you here. Yeah, me neither. She looked at me for a second. You look tired. Going for the devastated and barely functioning look, she tilted her head. Well, you nailed it. I couldn't help the small laugh that escaped. Thanks. Sorry, that was insensitive. No, I needed it. She stepped forward. Ava shouldn't have done what she did. Let's not. No, really. I told her it was cruel. I blinked. You knew? She told me. After it happened. She was proud of it. That tracks. She looked down. I'm not her. You know that, right? I nodded. Yeah, still, I'm sorry. Thanks. The barista called my name. I grabbed the cup and turned. Take care, Isabella. You too, she said softly. When I got home, James was on the couch. How'd the outside world treat you? I saw Isabella. His eyebrows shot up. In Ava's sister? Yeah. You okay? She's different. Nothing like Ava. You thinking about getting to know her? No, I said quickly. Absolutely not. Why not? 'Cause she's Ava's sister. That's like off limits. James shrugged. Or maybe she's just a person, like you. Lena came over the next day. Guess whose? Finally seeing daylight, I went for coffee. Don't get excited. Did you talk to people? Just Isabella? She raised an eyebrow. Oh, it was nothing. I didn't say anything. Didn't have to. She smiled. I always liked her more than Ava. Why? She listened. Ava only spoke. I frowned. We're not doing this. Hey, but if she talks to you again, maybe listen to what? To what the universe is putting in front of you. A few days later, I was at the grocery store, staring at cereal. Still can't decide between Frosted Flakes and Cheerios? I turned. Isabella again. Seriously? I muttered. Do you live in my shadow now? She laughed. Maybe fate just likes messing with you. I grabbed the Cheerios. Fine, you win. That was easy. I smiled a little, You're too happy. I fake it well. Why bother? Because not everyone gets to wallow, I paused. Fair enough. Ow. She walked beside me to the checkout. Want help carrying that? It's just cereal? I'm trying to be nice. I hesitated. Why? Because you look like you forgot what kindness feels like. I stared at her. You don't have to fix me. I'm not. Just walking. Beside you, that night, James saw the cereal box. You went shopping? Yeah, with Isabella, sort of. He grinned. You like her? No, I don't, Ethan. I said no. He nodded. Right, just don't run from. What doesn't hurt? I looked away. The whole Ava left in me still throbbed. But for the first time, it didn't feel bottomless. The cemetery was quiet. Stood by my mother's grave, hands in my pockets, the autumn wind biting at my jacket. I figured I'd find you here. I turned fast. Isabella. She held a single white rose. Didn't mean to startle you. What are you doing here? She stepped closer. I've been coming here too. She was kind to me. Treated me like I mattered. You knew my mom? She nodded. She used to volunteer at the library where I studied. Gave me cookies when I failed tests. I looked down at the headstone. She believed in everyone. She believed in you most, Isabella said softly, laying the rose beside the stone. She talked about how strong you were. I swallowed. She wouldn't say that now. I think she would. Glanced at her. Why are you really here? She hesitated. Because I needed to say something. And I figured this was the only place you wouldn't run away. I smirked faintly. I wasn't running. You were avoiding. Same thing. She let out a breath. I never agreed with what Ava did. I told her she was cruel. Ow. She didn't care, I said bitterly. She laughed. Of course she did. Not her, Ethan. I know. She looked at me carefully. Then why do you still flinch when I talk to you? I don't. You do? I paused. Because looking at you reminds me of her. I get that, she said. But maybe, let me be me. Exhaled. You really admired my mom. Yeah, she saw through Ava. Always told me not to follow her path. You didn't. I tried hard not to. I studied her for a moment. Now nothing like her. She smiled. Thanks.
That
means more than you know. We stood in silence. I used to bring her flowers every Sunday, I said quietly. I know. I watched from across the street once. You followed me? No. I just wanted to see if you still came. Why? Because Ava didn't care what she destroyed, but I did. You didn't deserve what happened. I looked down again. You don't have to keep saying sorry for her. I'm not. I'm saying sorry for me. For what? For watching it happen and not stopping her? You couldn't have stopped her. I could have warned you. Have listened. She smiled sadly. Probably not. We both chuckled lightly. Then her phone buzzed. She checked it and frowned. What? I asked. Ava's engaged. My stomach twisted. Lucas? Yeah, she posted a picture. Huge diamond. Caption says, finally chose what I deserve. I turned away, of course. You okay? I laughed bitterly. No, but it's fine. She's flaunting it like a trophy. That's what I was to her. A trial version. Don't say that. It's true. She stepped beside me. You weren't the problem, Ethan. Her greed was. Stayed quiet. Do you want to see it? She asked. No. I've seen enough. She nodded. Fair. The wind picked up. She hugged herself. You didn't have to come here, I said. I did. Why? Because I respect you. I didn't want you standing alone today. Stared at her. She added softly. You can push me away again if you want. Oh. Still care? I blinked. Why? She shrugged. Because you cared first, and because I've always liked the way you loved. That got me burned. But it also made you real. We stood in silence again, her words sinking in. She looked at the grave. She would have liked us talking. Like this, yeah, I whispered. She really would have. Did you shave? James asked as I adjusted my collar. Yeah, don't act so shocked. He grinned. Just happy you're starting to look like a human again. I've got a meeting. Uncle Robert offered me something. Wait, Trabert? As in Dad's business partner? Yeah, real estate. Are you serious? I need something to do. He nodded. Just don't dive into work to avoid feeling. I'm not feeling anything, I muttered. Exactly my point. Uncle Robert's office still smelled like cigars and old books. He smiled when I walked in. Ethan. Carter, about damn time. It's been a rough couple months. Emotion for me to sit. You don't have to explain. I heard what happened. Then I don't have to relive it. Fair enough, he said. Look, your dad would have wanted me to take care of you. There's a position open, project management. It's yours. If you want it, I hesitated. Why me? Because you're smarter than you look, and because you need something to build again. I nodded slowly. When do I start? Monday. Isabella texted that night. Isabella, heard you're joining. Robert's firm. Congrats me. Word travels fast. Isabella. Small world. Big mouths. Me. Thanks, though. Isabella, don't thank me. Just don't ghost me now that you're all professional me. No promises. She sent a laughing emoji. I stared at the screen longer than I should have. At the office. Robert tossed a folder on my desk. You'll manage the Parker Ridge deal. Flipped it open. This is a big project. Think you can't handle it? I didn't say that. He smirked. That's the Carter blood. I glanced around. This place, it feels solid. Safe. You need both. He walked off, leaving me with the weight of opportunity and something I hadn't felt in a while direction. Lena called during lunch. So, Mr. Realtor now, don't start. I'm proud of you. Thanks, but ... There it is. You're talking to Isabella a lot. She checks in. Are you checking back? Sometimes. She sighed. Ethan, don't use her to fill the silence. Ava left. I'm not. Then what are you doing? I don't know, I admitted, trying to breathe without it hurting. She's not your bandage, okay? I know. You still haven't told me what you want. I paused. Peace, maybe? Or revenge? Is it bad if I want both? Not if you don't get lost in it. 2 days later, Isabella showed up at my office with coffee. You didn't text back? She said, handing me the cup. I've been busy, so I figured I'd ambush you. I smiled. Effective tactic. I thought so. She looked around. This place suits you. Maybe you're different here. How? Less broken. I'm still broken. I said, yeah, but you're walking. I sipped my coffee. Why are you here, really? She hesitated. 'Cause I like seeing you try. I stared at her. I'm not ready for anything. I didn't ask you to be. I promised myself I'd never feel again. And I'm not asking you to. Then what are you asking? She smiled gently. Just don't disappear again. Later that night, I sat alone in my apartment, scrolling through Ava's engagement photos. Perfect dress, perfect smile, perfect lie. I tossed the phone aside. I wasn't over her, but I wasn't buried under her anymore either. And maybe that was something. What, you want me to what? I stared at Isabella across the cafe table. Pretend to be my boyfriend, she said, calmly sipping her latte. I blinked. You're serious, dead serious. My mom's trying to marry me off to some rich fossil from Dubai. Sounds intense. She thinks I'm wasting my prime years, wants to secure the family's future. Isabella rolled her eyes, her words, and pretending to date me helps. How? She'll back off. If she thinks I'm taken especially by you, she panic. I raised an eyebrow. Because I'm her ex-future son-in-law. Exactly. You realize how insane this sounds? Desperate times, she muttered. I leaned back. What's in it for me? She hesitated. Public revenge. Ava hates surprises. Seeing you with me? That'll wreck her curated life? And that's your pitch? It's honest. I stared at her. You're not doing this just for yourself. No, she admitted. I want her to feel the consequences. Just once. There was a long pause. Fine, I said, but on one condition. Name it. It's no lying. Not to me. Deal. Our first appearance was a charity gala downtown. Isabella met me outside, stunning, in a deep green dress. You clean up well? She said. I almost didn't recognize you without sarcasm. She smirked. Stay close. My mother's inside. Looking forward to it? I muttered. Inside. Cameras flashed. Whispers followed us like shadows. Could feel eyes on us. One in particular, Eva's. She stood frozen across the room, gripping Lucas's arm, eyes locked on me. Isabella leaned in. She sees us. I didn't look good. Mr. Whitmore, the event planner, cornered us by the hors d'oeuvres. Ethan Carter, he said, adjusting his tie. Wasn't expecting to see you, ... with her. Times change, I replied coolly. He laughed awkwardly. They certainly do, especially when Ava's engagement is built on secrets. I tilted my head. Secrets, he winked. Say Lucas wasn't her first choice. Or second. What do you mean? But he'd already turned, disappearing into the crowd. I glanced at Isabella. You hear that? Every word? She lowered her voice. You okay? I wasn't sure. Not really. Back outside, Isabella and I leaned against the limo. That was something, I muttered. You held your own. Ava looked like she saw a ghost. She did. The one she buried. I glanced at her. You meant what you said? About admiring me back then? She looked away. I did. I hesitated. I'm starting to think I never really knew your family. You didn't, she said, but now you do. The next morning, James slammed my office door open. What the hell are you doing with Isabella? Good morning to you too. Is a terrible idea. It's just for show. Really? Because Ava's throwing plates at Lucas Inn? Her story's good. James stared at me. You're playing with fire. She started the fire, and you're dancing in it. I sighed. Maybe I am. Later that evening, Isabella texted me a photo of Ava's post. Ava Reynolds. True love always wins. Beneath it, she'd tagged Lucas and turned off the comments. Isabella, she's spiraling. It's working me. Should it feel this good? Isabella, honestly, I don't know. I stared at the screen. My reflection stared back from the dark glass. This wasn't part of the plan. Ethan Carter. A woman's voice rang through my phone. This is Rachel Flynn. I'm a journalist with The Insider. Got a minute? No, I don't talk to vultures. Even if I told you Lucas is cheating on Ivy with 3 different women and I have proof, I paused mid-step. What kind of proof? Screenshots, hotel records, photos, anonymous. Tips pouring in since their engagement post. And why bring this to me? You're the ex. People assume you'll confirm the story? I'm not interested in reliving that circus. Think about it, she said. Call me back if you want the world to see who Ava really is. She hung up. Later that day, Isabella met me outside my office. You look like you saw a ghost, she said. Journalist called me. Rachel Flynn. Isabella's brow lifted. Name rings a bell. She has evidence Lucas is cheating on Ava. Wants to publish it. Well, Isabella smirked. Karma finally woke up. I didn't smile. Ava reached out too. She wants to meet. Her expression hardened. And you said, I didn't answer yet. She crossed her arms. You're considering it? I need to hear it from her. No cameras. No lies. Need to know what she's playing at. We met at the park bench behind the university. It's the same spot where she first told me she loved me. She arrived late, wearing oversized sunglasses and trembling fingers. Thanks for coming, Ava said, voice low. You asked, I replied, staying seated. She sat beside me, silent for a moment. I didn't know how else to reach you. I said nothing. I saw the photos. You and Isabella. You mean your sister? Her eyes flinched. She always liked you, you know. I stared at her. You didn't. That's not fair. Neither was sleeping with Lucas while we were still engaged. She blinked back tears. I made a mistake. Which one? Lying to me? Or pretending you cared? I did care, Ethan. Spare me. I lost everything, she whispered. No, I said, standing. You gave it away. Wait, she grabbed my wrist. Please, just can't we talk? One last time. No anger, no press, just us. There's no us anymore, Ava. Voice cracked. I regret it. All of it. I pulled my arm back. Too late. I turned and saw Isabella standing just a few feet away. I caught up to her fast. Isabella, you met her. Her voice was flat. I wanted the truth. And what did you get? Regret? Crocodile tears? She was already crying when I got there, so you stayed. I sighed. It's not what you think. You think I care who she cries to. She cried to Lucas too, and her reflection. She's good at crying. I just needed closure. Isabella turned sharply. And what did you expect? That she'd beg? Fall to her knees? No, I said quietly. I just wanted to see if she still wore the same mask. Her eyes softened slightly, and did she? No, I murmured. It cracked.
Back at home?
I scrolled through. The folder Rachel had sent. Lucas entering a hotel with a brunette. Then another shot, different woman, different night. Ava had been humiliated more than I ever planned. My phone buzzed. Rachel Flynn. Still no comment. I replied, "Run it." With everything. The next morning, my inbox exploded. Headlines screamed. Lucas Cross caught cheating, sources confirm Ava Reynolds knew. James called me before I could finish my coffee. "You had something to do?" "With this," he barked. "Define something. People are talking, Ethan. You and Isabella." "Now this, it's not about revenge. You sure?" "I'm not," I admitted, "but it feels like justice." I stepped out into the morning air, heart thudding, unsure if I felt victorious or hollow. Isabella hadn't responded to my messages. She needed time, and maybe I needed to decide what I wanted from the ashes Ava left behind. I was mid-scroll on my phone when Grandma May's number popped up. I hadn't spoken to her in months, Grandma. "Ethan, dear, I need you to come by. Is everything okay?" "No, but it's time you knew the truth." Her house smelled like cinnamon and old books. She handed me tea I didn't ask for. "I know about Ava's visit." I nodded. She cried. Lied. Typical. She's done worse than lie. I raised an eyebrow. "You mean Lucas?" "No, I mean what she did to you." "Grandma, she was pregnant, Ethan." The mug slipped in my hand, splashing tea onto the floor. "What? 2 months before the breakup? That's impossible?" "She would have told me." "She didn't. She ended it. Quietly." My mouth went dry. "She had an abortion?" "Yes." I stared at the hardwood. "Why would she do that? She said you were a distraction, that a baby would ruin her career plans. She never said a word, not once. She didn't want to be tied to you anymore." I sank onto the couch. "How do you even know?" she told Isabella. "In a drunken fit the night before your engagement party." My head shot up. Isabella knew. She was furious. It's called Ava heartless. They didn't speak for weeks. I clutched the edge of the cushion. She still showed up, smiling, standing beside her sister. "She did it for you," said you. "Deserved at least one woman in that room who still respected you." Later that night, I found Isabella in the kitchen slicing apples. "You knew," I said. She froze. "Grandma talked to you. You knew she was pregnant? That she aborted?" She didn't answer. "For how long?" "I found out 2 years ago." "And you didn't tell me?" She set the knife down gently. "It wasn't my story to tell." "Yes, it was. It was my child. You were already broken, Ethan. I didn't want to shatter you, so you just watched me crumble without context. You were barely holding it together, and I didn't know how to fix it." I exhaled. I thought I hated her before, but this changes everything. "I know. I looked up, you stood by me anyway, because you never deserved what she did." "Why didn't you say something sooner?" "'Cause I didn't. Want you to love me out of pity?" I blinked. "Is that what you think this is? Keep looking back, Ethan? I didn't want to be your escape hatch. You're not. I hope not." Couldn't sleep. I kept seeing Ava's face. The day she said she wanted to talk. She didn't just bury a relationship. She buried a life. My life. My child. Everything I thought I'd forgiven, reignited. And Isabella, she had carried my secret grief without ever letting me see the weight she'd known. Still chose to protect me. No pretenses. No masks. Just quiet, stubborn loyalty. I didn't deserve that. But maybe for once I wanted to. The doorbell rang at 10 p.m. I didn't expect company. I was in sweats, half asleep on the couch. When I opened the door, she stood there, hair curled. Red lips, that same perfume I used to drown in. "Hi," she said, voice soft like a wound. I didn't move. "Can I come in?" "Please." I crossed my arms. "Why are you here?" "I needed to see you." I glanced behind her. No car running, no press. Just her alone. "I made mistakes," she whispered. "You think that's news to me?" She stepped forward. "I miss you every day. Don't I think about us? What we had? What you killed?" Her smile faltered. I didn't. "Mean for it too? You buried my child, Ava, without telling me. Do you even grasp what that means?" Tears welled in her eyes. I was scared. I didn't know what else to do. "So you did nothing. You let me dream of a future you'd already burned." She reached for me. I stepped back. "You thought I'd wait forever?" I said coldly. But I moved on the day you ended that pregnancy behind my back. She covered her mouth. How did you find out? Grandma May. She had no right. She had every right. More than you ever did. I was young. Stupid. No, you were selfish. It's different. She looked around. Is she here? Who? Isabella. I didn't answer. You're with her now. She never lied to me. Never betrayed me. She's my sister. That didn't stop you from stabbing us both.
I still
Love you. You loved what I gave you. Attention, stability, comfort. But not me. Never me. I can change. You won't. You're chasing what you lost, not what you want. She trembled. So that's it? You're just done? Was done the second you proved I never mattered? She stared at me for a long moment, lips trembling, mascara streaking. Then turned and walked down the steps, heels clicking like a final goodbye. Was that her? Isabella's voice came from the hallway. I turned. You heard? Most of it. She walked into the room, barefoot. Hoodie draped over her pajamas. I didn't mean for you to. She really thought you'd take her back, she said quietly. She always thought I'd wait, but you didn't. No, not anymore. She nodded slowly, eyes studying mine. Are you okay? No, I admitted. But I'm done pretending I ever was. I never wanted to be the rebound, Ethan. You weren't. I still worry that I'll never compare. I stepped closer. You don't have to. She was a storm. You're a calm after it. She blinked. That sounds like something you just made up. It is. She gave a half laugh, then looked down. So, what now? Stay tonight? No. Just stay in my life. Don't walk away like she did. Her eyes locked on mine. Only if you stop looking behind you. Already? Did. She exhaled, stepped forward and wrapped her arms around me. And for the first time in a long time, I let myself lean in. The sunlight hit the church windows like stained fire. People filled every pew. Laughter, camera flashes, whispered excitement. My palms were damp, my heart beat steady but louder than the organ playing. Ready? Marcus clapped my shoulder. As I'll ever be, he grinned. She's glowing, man. You're lucky. I know. I turned toward the aisle. Then the murmurs started. I followed their eyes. Ava, in a white cocktail dress. Eyes wild, heels too high for her balance. Stop the music, she shouted. No one did. She staggered forward. Ethan, I didn't move. She kept coming. You can't marry her? Not her. Marcus stepped in. Ma'am, don't ma'am me. That's my sister. I exhaled through my nose. What are you doing, Ava? I still love you. You're late, I said. By about 2 years, you said you'd never stop. No, you said that. I just finally stopped listening. She looked around, guests frozen, cameras paused. You're marrying her to punish me. I'm marrying her because she never lied to me. She's my sister. And you still didn't hesitate to. Destroy both of us. She's just doing this to win, I said. I said, she's doing this because she's the only one who ever stayed. Suddenly, the music shifted. The guests turned, and there she was. Isabella, calm, elegant, dressed in off-white silk. Eyes locked on me like I was the only thing that mattered. Ava's voice cracked. You can't. Isabella didn't even look. At her, she walked past Ava like she didn't exist. Ava broke into sobs. I loved you first. But she loved me, right? I held out my hand. Isabella took it. Are we okay? She whispered. Perfect. The officiant cleared his throat. Shall we begin? We faced each other, blocking everything else out. You may begin your vows, he said. I nodded. When I first met you, I didn't think I deserved peace. I began. I was too used to chaos, used to chasing people who ran the moment it got hard. Isabella's eyes shimmered. But you never ran, even when I was half of myself. Even when I was angry, broken, guarded, you stayed. A few guests sniffled. You didn't try to fix me. You just listened. And every time I pushed, you held the line. You taught me that love isn't loud, it's quiet. steady, brave. I felt her hand squeeze mine. So today, I choose you not because I need you to heal me, but because you never hurt me to begin with. The officiant nodded. Isabella, she inhaled. You weren't supposed to be mine, she began. You were a lesson, a warning. But then, you became my best friend, and then something deeper. My chest tightened. You didn't promise me the world, but you gave me honesty. You told me the truth, even when it hurt. You didn't wear a mask like everyone else. You let me see the scars. She looked at me so fully, so fiercely, that I forgot we had an audience, and I loved you for every scar, every flaw, every silent, sleepless night you thought no one noticed. I noticed, Ethan. I always did. I swallowed hard. And I choose you today, not because you're perfect, but because you're real. And you chose me back. The officiant smiled. Rings? Marcus handed me hers. I slid it on her fingers. Low, deliberate. She slipped mine. On just as slowly, never breaking eye contact. With the power vested in me. The officiant paused for dramatic effect. I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss. I didn't wait. Her lips tasted like forever. Applause erupted behind us. Ava was gone, and I didn't even care. Do you think she'll try to come back again? Isabella asked, curling beside me on the porch swing. If she does, she won't find the same man waiting, I said, watching the smoke curl from my mug. She sighed. I still can't believe Rachel's article went that far. I glanced at the folded paper on the table beside U.S. socialite Ava Brooks exposed. Betrayal, abortion, and a sister's revenge. She deserved every word, I said. She's lost everything now, Isabella murmured. She lost herself long before that. We sat in silence. The cicadas hummed. The world felt slower out here. Isabella leaned her head on my shoulder. Lucas dumped her. After Rachel's piece, immediately. Word is, he went straight back to his fiancée in LA and her mom. Disowned her publicly. She didn't say anything. She didn't need to. Neither of us cheered. We didn't need revenge anymore. We already won. I ran into Rachel at the market yesterday, Isabella said. Oh yeah. She said you looked like someone who finally slept. I smiled. First time in years. Isabella paused. Do you ever think about her? Not the way you mean. She pulled back slightly to look at me. Then how? It's like an old scar. Faint. Doesn't hurt. She reminds me to be careful next time I bleed. Isabella reached for my hand. I'm glad you bled toward me. I laughed. Dramatic. You love it. She wasn't wrong. The sun dipped below the horizon. Orange faded into lavender. Peace was a strange thing after so much noise, but it fit. I stood and walked to the edge of the porch. Reached into my pocket. What's that? She asked. I held up a folded yellowing envelope. Something I held on to too long. Isabella didn't move. She just watched me. I unfolded the paper. The handwriting was soft, familiar. Ethan, I know you'll come back. You always do. You're not like other men, you stay. That's what I love and hate about you. I stopped reading, same lines. Same trap, same Ava. I struck a match and held it to the corner. Isabella stood beside me, silent. The flame licked upward, curling the edges black. Her words disappeared faster than she ever did. She never expected me to stop waiting, but I did. She thought I'd beg. I chose peace. The last corner crumbled. I dropped the ashes into the wind. Isabella wrapped her arms around me. How do you feel? Free. She smiled. You look it. We walked back inside. The house smelled like cinnamon and books. Home, not a mansion, not a palace, but real. Dinner, she asked. Only if you made it. I did. Then definitely. Yes. She set the plates. I paused at the doorway. Sometimes karma doesn't scream, I said quietly. It just walks past you in a wedding suit. She looked back at me, and I smiled faint, but whole.